Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The shocking bombshell that rocked the Sister Wives world in 2025 came when court documents revealed that Robyn Brown, the so-called favorite wife of Kody Brown, had been secretly drowning in personal debt. Debts so extravagant and bizarre that it made fans question everything they thought they knew about the Browns' financial struggles. Because while Janelle and Christine were scraping together pennies to survive and Mary was out building her bed and breakfast empire solo, Robyn was allegedly charging up luxury purchases, reportedly amassing a staggering Victoria's Secret debt of over $450,000 that finally caught up with her in a courtroom showdown that ended with a judge officially seizing her Flagstaff home, leaving fans gasping at the downfall of the woman who once claimed she was the most responsible with family finances, yet somehow hid one of the most reckless money scandals in Sister Wives history. And according to sources close to the case, the debt wasn't just a few forgotten credit card bills or late payments, but rather years of unchecked spending, secret orders, and even unpaid loans connected to online shopping splurges, lingerie hauls, and luxury lifestyle purchases that completely contradicted the public image Robyn tried to project on the show, where she was often seen crying about financial stress and blaming Christine or Janelle for the family's money problems, when in reality, Robyn was allegedly stacking up massive balances behind the scenes. Balances that ballooned until creditors dragged her into court demanding accountability, and that accountability came swiftly in the form of a legal judgment that shocked even longtime Sister Wives watchers, because the judge ruled that in order to begin satisfying the $450,000 debt, Robyn's Flagstaff mansion, long considered the Brown family's final stable property after the Coyote Pass debacle, would be seized and liquidated, effectively stripping Robyn of her safety net and exposing the fragile house of cards she had built around her finances. And the irony of the situation was not lost on fans, who remembered vividly how Kody Brown in past seasons constantly preached about financial responsibility, land investments, and the dream of building a legacy for his wives and children. Yet here was his last remaining legal wife entangled in what looked like one of the most humiliating financial scandals reality TV had ever witnessed, with some fans comparing it to Teresa Giudice's Real Housewives bankruptcy and fraud debacle. Only this time it was Victoria's Secret bags instead of shady business ventures, and as details emerged, fans learned that Robyn allegedly opened multiple lines of credit in her own name and possibly in joint accounts, quietly maxing them out on items that raised eyebrows. Reports claimed designer bras, high-end beauty products, expensive handbags, and even luxury vacations had been charged under the guise of family needs, yet the family never seemed to benefit, leaving Christine and Janelle to wonder if all those late-night tears Robyn shed were really about family unity or about dodging collection calls. And when the court finally ruled, the ripple effect hit the entire Brown family dynamic, because not only was Robyn's house on the line, but Kody's name was dragged into the mess, as creditors hinted that Kody may have been aware of or even enabled some of the financial behavior, although no official ruling tied him directly to the debt. But fans speculated online that Kody's obsession with Robyn blinded him to the warning signs, and it was hard to ignore the poetic justice, since Robyn had long been viewed as the wife who won Kody while the others walked away with broken marriages. Yet now, she was the one losing the roof over her head in the most humiliating way possible, and social media exploded with commentary as Sister Wives fans tweeted, memed, and debated whether this was karmic payback for Robyn's role in the family breakup, with some gleefully pointing out that Janelle had once said she left her marriage with nothing while Robyn stayed in the mansion, only for that mansion to now be legally stripped from her, leaving her with less security than any of the ex-wives who had rebuilt independent lives. And while TLC has yet to issue a formal statement, insiders say producers are scrambling to figure out how to incorporate the scandal into future Sister Wives episodes, because the legal documents themselves read like a soap opera script, complete with courtroom drama, Robyn allegedly breaking down in tears before the judge, and Kody storming out of the courthouse, furious that the family name was being dragged through financial mud. And what makes this even more wild is the cultural backlash, since Victoria's Secret is now tied forever to this scandal, with fans joking that Robyn's secret was literally a pile of lingerie receipts. And the memes practically wrote themselves, with captions like, "Coyote Pass could have been paid off, but Robyn needed another bra," flooding TikTok and Instagram. And even though some fans feel bad for the brown children who are caught in the fallout, many believe this entire saga shines a light on the hypocrisy that has long defined Kody and Robyn's public image, because while they painted themselves as victims of the other wives' decisions, the truth revealed in court suggests they were living far beyond their means. And now, with the $450,000 verdict looming, Robyn may not just lose her house but also her credibility as the responsible wife of Sister Wives, a role she fought to hold on to ever since joining the family, but which now lies in shambles amid public humiliation, mounting debts, and a storyline that could very well define the future of the show. Especially if TLC decides to capitalize on the scandal with a special spin-off focused entirely on the courtroom drama and whether Robyn and Kody can salvage their finances, their marriage, or even their reputation in the wake of the shocking judgment that has officially turned Robyn from the family favorite into the family liability in the eyes of millions of viewers. As the court's ruling spread like wildfire across tabloids, social media, and fan groups, the conversation about Robyn Brown's Victoria's Secret debt escalated into one of the most shocking scandals to ever hit the Sister Wives franchise, and suddenly the narrative that Robyn was the quiet, innocent, soft-spoken wife who only wanted family unity collapsed under the weight of financial documents, testimony, and speculation that painted a completely different picture of her life behind closed doors, because while Christine was busy rebuilding a life in Utah with David Woolley and Janelle was showing off her detox glow-up in North Carolina, Robyn was allegedly buried in a financial nightmare of her own making, and the seizure of her Flagstaff mansion was just the beginning, since legal analysts warned that once a judgment of that size hits, creditors start circling like vultures, meaning Robyn could face wage garnishments, frozen accounts, or even bankruptcy if she doesn't find a way to pay down the mountain of debt. And the symbolism of her house being seized was devastating not just for her image, but for the Brown family's entire legacy, because that mansion wasn't just a home. It was the last remaining piece of stability after years of chaos, the property Kody clung to as proof that he and Robyn had won the divorce wars by staying together. But now, with that very home ripped from their control, fans couldn't help but laugh at the irony, since Janelle, Christine, and Mary had all walked away, starting over in smaller homes or apartments, only to come out stronger, while Robyn, who once flaunted her luxurious life with Kody, was now facing the most humiliating loss of all, and the details of the Victoria's Secret debt continued to fascinate the public because of how oddly specific and outrageous it seemed, with insiders leaking that Robyn allegedly opened not one but several store credit cards tied to luxury retailers, often maxing them out with purchases she categorized as family expenses, when in reality, the receipts showed endless lingerie orders, spa products, designer fragrances, and clothing items that had little to do with family needs and everything to do with personal indulgence, and some reports even suggested Robyn used the cards to buy gifts for Kody in a desperate attempt to keep his affection, because she allegedly believed that by spoiling him with fancy outfits, colognes, and romantic surprises, she could maintain her position as his one and only. But in the end, all that spending backfired spectacularly when the bills went unpaid and the debt ballooned to a staggering $450,000, forcing the court to step in. And even though Robyn reportedly tried to negotiate a payment plan, the creditors pushed for liquidation, resulting in the house seizure that now dominates every Sister Wives conversation. And what's even more explosive is how the other wives reacted, because sources claim Christine allegedly laughed when she first heard the news, joking that Robyn's karma had finally arrived, while Janelle, though more empathetic, admitted in private that she wasn't surprised, since she always believed Kody and Robyn were hiding financial secrets. And Mary, who had once defended Robyn publicly, reportedly rolled her eyes when asked, saying she was tired of cleaning up other people's messes, leaving Robyn truly isolated as her carefully constructed world crumbled. And fans immediately took to TikTok and Reddit to dissect every possible angle, with threads titled, "Robyn's secret shopping addiction exposed, and karma comes for the queen," racking up thousands of comments. Memes of Victoria's Secret angels edited with Robyn's face went viral, and hashtags like #Victoria's Secret Scandal and #ByeByeRobynHouse began trending, showing just how far this scandal had penetrated pop culture, and even financial experts weighed in, using the case as a cautionary tale about secret debts and store credit addiction, turning Robyn into a kind of unwilling poster child for financial irresponsibility. While TLC insiders hinted that the scandal may actually extend Sister Wives' lifespan instead of ending it, since the drama is too lucrative to ignore, with producers allegedly considering a spin-off or special titled something like Robyn's Reckoning or Secrets and Debts, and if that comes to fruition, fans can expect to see courtroom footage, exclusive interviews, and maybe even depositions aired as part of the reality spectacle, essentially turning Robyn's downfall into ratings gold. But what about Kody in all of this? Because his role cannot be ignored, and though he wasn't officially named in the debt documents, many suspect he either knew or at least turned a blind eye, because Kody has long been portrayed as financially reckless himself, throwing money into big dreams like Coyote Pass, luxury cars, and elaborate gifts for Robyn, while refusing to help the other wives when they needed support. And now that Robyn's house is gone, Kody's image as the provider of the family has been destroyed beyond repair, since the man who claimed to want to build a legacy is now standing in the ruins of the only home left under his name. And perhaps the most devastating blow of all is the impact on the children, because Robyn's kids, who are already struggling under the microscope of public scrutiny, now face the reality of losing their home, watching their mother dragged in court, and hearing their parents ridiculed online as memes and headlines pile up. And though some fans express sympathy for the kids, the general tone across the fandom is that Robyn brought this upon herself by living beyond her means and manipulating the family finances for years, and the scandal even opened old wounds about her jewelry business, My Sister Wife's Closet, which flopped years ago after the family invested time and money into it, with fans now speculating that Robyn may have been using credit cards to cover losses from that failed venture, fueling her spiral into secret debt. And as everything comes crashing down, the question on everyone's mind is simple. What happens next for Robyn and Kody? Because without the house, without credibility, and without financial stability, their carefully crafted, perfect couple narrative has exploded, leaving them exposed as the most fragile link in the Sister Wives legacy. And if TLC decides to document every step of this downfall, then the Victoria's Secret debt scandal may go down in history as the storyline that not only destroyed Robyn's reputation but also redefined the future of Sister Wives as a whole, turning it from a show about polygamy into a cautionary tale about secrecy, betrayal, and the financial consequences of living a lie.